Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental stories there is, the very beginning of a new life. It's an incredible journey, so let's get right into it.
Let's start with a number, 400 million. That's roughly how many microscopic travelers begin an absolutely epic journey during a single ejaculation. It's a race against staggering odds, and only one can succeed. So, what does it take to win? Let's find out.
Okay, so this whole journey kicks off with our main character, the sperm. This isn't just any cell, it's a highly specialized unit designed for one singular, incredibly important mission.
And here it is, our microscopic hero. You can see it's been stripped down to the absolute essentials. It's all about speed and delivery. Every single part you see here has a purpose, all geared towards completing its quest.
So let's look at its toolkit. The head is carrying the precious cargo, the genetic blueprint. That's 23 chromosomes, and one of those is the sex chromosome, either an X or a Y, which is what determines the sex of the baby. Then you have the middle piece. That's basically the engine room, just jam-packed with mitochondria to power the long swim ahead. And that tail, that's the propeller, driving it forward.
But you know, for this whole mission to work, timing is absolutely everything. The egg is only really viable for about 24 hours after it's released during ovulation, which usually happens around day 14 of the cycle. But here's the cool part. Sperm can actually survive inside the female reproductive tract for a few days. This creates what we call a fertile window, the specific time when conception is actually possible.
All right, so the stage is set, that fertile window is wide open, and now the perilous journey begins. The ultimate goal for our tiny travelers is that one climactic moment of fusion.
And that finish line is called fertilization. It's the fusion of the sperm and the egg, and it usually happens in the fallopian tube. It is the incredible moment that two separate cells become one, combining all their genetic material to kickstart a new life.
So you might be wondering, how does the sperm actually get inside? It's not about brute force. At the very tip of the sperm's head is something called the acrosome. Think of it like a specialized key. It releases an enzyme, hyaluronidase, that basically dissolves a pathway through the egg's protective outer layer, clearing the way for just one sperm to enter.
And this is where the egg does something truly brilliant. The instant one sperm gets its nucleus inside, bam! The gates slam shut. The egg's outer membrane changes, becoming completely impenetrable to all the others. This defense mechanism ensures that the new cell gets exactly the right number of chromosomes, no more, no less.
With fertilization complete, the race is won. But in a way, the real journey is just getting started. The focus now shifts from the meeting of two cells to the incredible transformation of one. A whole new story begins. And this brand new, single-celled entity has a name. It's a zygote. This is it, the very first cell of a new individual, holding the complete genetic blueprint, all 46 chromosomes, needed to build an entire human being. So, as this tiny zygote travels down the fallopian tube over the next week, it starts dividing, and I mean rapidly. This process is called cleavage. It goes from one cell to two to 4, 8, 16, and so on. It's exponential growth. It forms a solid little ball of cells called a morula before hollowing out to become something called a blastocyst. And you can see that progression right here, from the solid morula to the hollow blastocyst. This isn't just a change in shape, it's a critical step in getting organized. The outer layer of cells will go on to form the placenta, while that inner cluster of cells, well, that's going to become the embryo itself. This new structure is now ready for its next big adventure.
So, after about a week of non-stop transforming and traveling, the blastocyst finally reaches its destination, the uterus. But the journey isn't over yet. Now it has to find a safe place to attach and start growing.
And this step is absolutely crucial. It's called implantation. The blastocyst literally burrows into the rich, nutrient-filled lining of the uterus, called the endometrium. This attachment is the moment that officially marks the beginning of a pregnancy.
You know, as development continues, we use different terms to describe the stages. From implantation up through the 8th week, while the basic body plan is being laid out, it's called an embryo. Then, after that 8-week mark, once things like limbs and major organs have started to form, it's known as a fetus. And from that moment of implantation, a new countdown begins.
We're talking about a journey of roughly 280 days. That's the average length of a human pregnancy, the whole period of development all happening inside the protective environment of the womb.
Okay, so it's successfully implanted, but now the developing fetus needs a really sophisticated and dedicated life support system to nourish it and protect it as it grows.
Inside the uterus, this whole custom-built environment forms around the developing fetus. It's an intricate system that's designed to both shield it from the outside world and provide absolutely everything it needs to grow.
It's actually floating safely inside the amnion, which is a tough, membranous sac. This sac is filled with amniotic fluid, which acts like a personal, biological shock absorber. It cushions against bumps, keeps the pressure just right, and even lets the fetus move around freely. And connecting everything is the placenta. This is a remarkable temporary organ that acts as the fetus's lungs, kidneys, and hormone factory all in one. It delivers all the good stuff like oxygen and nutrients, removes waste products, and produces crucial hormones to keep the pregnancy going. It is the ultimate life support system. So when you trace this journey from being just one of 400 million contenders to a fully formed being, it's just a profound display of biological precision and pure persistence. It's a microscopic epic that unfolds within us, a reminder of the incredible odds that every single one of us overcame to be here. Thanks for joining us.